Hello, everyone. Today is the 27th of uh, November 2022, and we are looking at the stock of TPG. There's been some interesting development on the chart for TPG, and I have my own observations for the same, which I'll be going through a little bit more detail in this current video. Hope you like it, and if you like it, then do just hit on the like button and do share it as well. So, first of all, what I'll do is I'll look into the. Let's start with looking at first the monthly chart for for TPG, and what we see in the chart here is that uh, there has been like a downtrend that the stock has been. It hit a kind of a low sometime in May 21 at around 4.84 ish, and from there it had a big green monthly candle, started its journey up, did a little bit of consolidation, again up, but hit again a high here, and then since then has been a little bit of a downtrend and some consolidation. But it was sometime here in August 2022 that it really hit a strong resistance. This was a date when this was a month in which also it had its annual results presentations and all as well. And this has been in a single month, there was a dip of around 16% or so, and from there we can see it's been again monthly wise it's been a downtrend, but now in the last month of October we saw this hammer candle forming. So looks like the stock had been in a bad state, but seems to be that it has reached its support level from where the buyers have taken the interest in here, and it seems to have started going up. So this was the month of October, and this is the month of November so far. So with that, now what we'll do is we'll go into the weekly and just see the observations on the weekly chart. And on the weekly chart again, what we can see here is that this was the level of around 4.84, where it had taken a strong support earlier, but when it was in that massive downtrend it was in this time period since the month of August, it breached that level. Now, when a stock crosses a long term kind of a support level, we have to just be it comes into it should come into our watch list, and then we should be taking a note of, because this since this was a long term support, it will turn back, right? It will turn back, and when it turns back we have to be more careful when it crosses this long term support now, which was acting as a resistance. We have to be mindful of that. And now we can see in the last 3 4 weeks, in fact like the 3 weeks, it has been closing above this long term support, which has now been like a resistance is here. And now what we'll do is we'll go uh, a step deeper into the daily chart for this one. And what we can see in the daily chart, again, this was, as you can see, this was the month of like August, when it took a big gap down, and before that time period it was hovering above its 20-day moving average. It was hovering above that, but since the time of the announcement of the results that it had, it has been in a downtrend since then. But a stock, as I had told in the earlier videos as well, that when a stock is in a continuously downtrend, it will hit a point where there's no further going down back, where the buyers take an interest into that. And this is what we see in this particular stock. This is what we see around this level. which is around 4.39. This is the level where you can see it hits here, does not breach this level, again tries to cross that. Again there's a buyer interest which is keeping it up. And from this period, what it does is, you can see it kind of turns around. It has been below the 20 period moving average, but after it takes a U-turn, we can see it coming near and then crossing the 20 period moving average. And since then, here also it has been very near to the 20 period moving average, and since then it has been kind of closing above the 20 period moving average. So if we kind of look into this as a bracket in here, what we will see very clearly, let's look at the high period that it has around this time, right? So it went above the 20 period moving average, then it hit a high of somewhere around here, which we draw a line here, and then this is the low in this period, and this is the box that we get here, right? So in this box, what we see is that the stock has entered at from here, right? It has entered from the lower level here. It has been doing its jumping up and down, up and down, up and down, above the 20 period moving average, closing above, and slowly and steadily it has been building up. You see each lower candle, the low of each subsequent candle has been in an uptrend. Now this is a strong signal that there's a buyer interest which is taking a support in here, and we can see like a trend line following here, and this trend line is acting as a support for this stock. Now along with the support that we see around this area, we also see a resistance forming here. You see this dotted line, this is for 4.97, and what we see is at around 4.97, this is one point that it hit in the last couple of weeks itself, from around the start of November. Second time again that it tested this resistance. Third time again that it tested this resistance. Now there's a bit of a higher volume compared to the earlier hits that it had. We are now seeing a little bit of a higher volume as well. It's again trying to test this resistance again, which is 4.97. And the good thing is that it is not crossing below the 20 period moving average. Here it has again formed a perfect doji, which is a very indecisive candle. Now the more probability, if we again look at that bracket, that rectangle that we have, the more probability is from here it will be going higher than here. There are less chances of it going downside. We have to just keep a close stop loss here around 4.86, and keep a close eye that it has to cross and it has to close above this resistance level. Now if it closes above the 4.97 with a good volume, then we know what it has been trying for a long time. It has kind of surpassed that resistance, and it can see a little bit of a up move from here. Another thing to note is that psychological as well, 5 is a good psychological barrier. If it can cross that barrier, which is near its resistance level as well, then there will be a good chance of this going further up as well. So we'll be keeping a close eye on this, and we'll follow this up again next weekend with a follow-up video for this. Let's see where this goes. Does it cross this resistance, ends higher than this, goes higher, or there's something else that we can see that points to it going down? Whereas what we can see from the observation, the facts for far is that there are more probability of this crossing this resistance and going up. So till next weekend, Happy investing, everyone. See you. Thanks.